Let's try Orbeetle VMAX. We're going to pair it with the mascot. It's Sableye time. Welcome back, everyone, to more from the Sableyes. I'm Mitch, and today we're going to take a look at Orbeetle VMAX. Lots of people have shown this deck off over the last couple of days, but I don't think anyone has played it with Sableye V yet. We saw a deck that could deal a lot of spread damage, and I immediately want to pair it up with the channel's mascot. Now, I don't think this is the best way to play Orbeetle. I don't even know if it's a way to play Orbeetle, frankly, but I've been given an opportunity to use Sableye V, so we may as well use it. Orbeetle VMAX, obviously quite popular at the moment, so we might check out a different version of the list in the future. Before we check it out on PTCGO, though, please consider, if you haven't already, subscribing, and also like the video. If you are a subscriber, like the video so that I know that you're watching it. It's weird at the moment. I don't actually know what ratio of my subscribers are actually watching each video. So if you are a subscriber, leave a like so I've got a bit of an idea. That would be great. I'm going to try and figure out exactly how many people are actually subscribed to this thing. So let's jump onto PTCGO now and check out the deck list. So here's the deck. It's a little bit interesting, let's say, but it is interesting, and that's good. It's obviously focused around Orbeetle VMAX, which lots of people have seen value in recently. It's a 310 HP grass-type VMAX, which has the ability Eerie Beam. When this Pokemon is in the active position, we place 1 damage counter on each of our opponent's Pokemon, and it also has the attack G-Max Wave for grass and colorless. It does 50 damage, plus 50 for every energy attached to your opponent's active. So, two effects, really, that are incredibly strong if we can find the right combination for them. Eerie Beam, we can move between multiple Orbeetle, which means we can place lots of damage counters, which is really cool. And G-Max Wave is usually going to be doing between 150 and 250 damage, which for 2 energy is an absolute steal. So a really, really good card. 1 retreat, which means we can get a lot of flexibility out of it. We're playing a 4/4 line, with obviously 4 of the basic Orbeetle V as well. But we also have in this deck 3 copies of Sableye V as an attacker. Crazy Claws is going to be the attack that we're trying to use more often than not. 10 damage plus 60 for every damage counter on our opponent's Pokemon. Now that means that if their active Pokemon has 1 damage counter, we do 70 damage. If they have 5 damage counters, then we do 300 damage, or 310 damage, or some stupid amount of damage. And we can get a lot of damage counters in play thanks to Orbeetle VMAX. Now, the double dark energy costing of the Sableye is a little bit awkward, but we can mitigate that with 4 copies of Turbo Patch. It means if we discard any dark energy in the early game, or we do play 4 copies of dark energy, then we can potentially Turbo Patch those on. We also have 4 copies of Aurora as well, so that we can use G-Max Wave as an attack if we have to. The last energy we have is Weakness Guard energy. It's not going to work for our Sableye, but if we are playing up against the fire deck, then we might be able to attach that to Orbeetle and try and save the day there. The rest of our Pokemon are all support Pokemon. Crobat, obviously Dedenne-GX, and a copy of Eldegoss. We can use Eldegoss to grab back any of our many supporters, and there are lots of them. We've got Bird Keeper, which is really good in this deck. We've got Mallow Lana, again, good switch and can heal as well. We've got Cynthia Caitlin and Mahala, which we can all search out with copies of Tag Call. There are 3 copies of Tag Call in the list. Plus, we also have 2 copies of Boss, and also for research. There's a lot of supporters there. Mahala, really, really good in this deck. It can search out Aurora energy, which we do need to get attacking with our what do you call it? Orbeetle? I took a moment there to remember that. We can attack with our Orbeetle. We also search out U-Turn Board, which we have 3 copies of, and also 3 Turffield Stadium. So we can very easily get an attack off thanks to Mahala. We also have 4 copies of Switch to move in and out of the active, and 4 copies of Quick Ball to search out basic Pokemon. Wow. Went through that pretty quickly. There's a lot of stuff this deck can do, but it is incredibly reliant on flipping Turbo Patches. Hopefully we can get some attacks off with Sableye. Worst case scenario, our Orbeetle VMAX is a very potent attacker as well. Let's see if this thing works. Like I said before, I'm not gonna tell you this is the best deck, but it has Sableye on it, and you can't say no to that. Coin flip time. Let's see if we can't get ourselves a decent start here. We'll be going first. And it looks like a Sableye to go with, and also an Orbeetle VMAX. We do need the basic, though. The hand is not great for going second, I will say that much. Oh boy, this is really bad for going first. Let's get rid of this Bird Keeper and then pass. We're up against a Snorlax, so with any luck, this is a Colossal deck. Looking like it may be at the moment. A couple of Snorlax and a Pokédoll coming down. Yeah, this is got all the signs of a Colossal deck, so I'm thinking that we are in a pretty good spot as long as we don't do anything stupid here. As long as we get ourselves all the cards we need, we should be fine. We haven't top decked into a basic yet, but that's okay. I'm thinking we just research this hand away. We don't really want to play the energy down onto the active Sableye. It doesn't do anything for us. We did find a basic though, which is good. We can play that down now. I'm thinking what we could do, we could attach to the Orbeetle with the dark energy. We obviously need 2 dark for the Sableye to attack. I think this is okay because what we can do is we can grab we can potentially grab back an energy soon at some point. But what we can do here is we can actually load search here rather than passing and grab one of our supporters back. And I think we're going to grab, I feel like Cynthia and Caitlin or Bird Keeper's fine. We're going to grab the Bird Keeper. We've got one in hand already, but it means that we've got another opportunity to do some setting up. And the good thing for us is it will take a while for Colossal to get going properly, and they can't knock us out this turn. So we've got a couple of turns to set up and do the right thing here. It's Guzmahala's coming out the wazoo for our opponent. They're going to need to thin out the hand here so that they can Gormandize again. They'll probably grab Energy and Energy Stadium and some sort of tool, you would imagine. Looks like it will be Dojo and Stone Energy into play here. We can replace the Martial Arts Dojo with a Turffield. We've got the extra in hand. They Gormandize, and I think we're going to just... oh, this is very interesting. We've actually got the Aurora as well. Well, Bird Keeper, we find an Orbeetle and a Quick Ball as well, which is really, really big. We'll Eerie Beam to put 10 damage on all of our opponent's Pokemon. And I think we probably attach the Aurora to the active. I mean, whether we do it now or not is another question. Let's retreat. We'll go back into the Sableye. We can replace the Stadium. I don't ever see a problem with that. And we might hold on to the energy, actually, and just load search, grab back, I don't know, maybe Bird Keeper again. That seems fair. Because we're not under any pressure here. They're not, like, attacking us. We can spend as much time as we want setting up our attacker. And the best thing about next turn is going to be that we can Bird Keeper into Orbeetle and then retreat into another Orbeetle. And we still probably survive. Oh, pardon me. Oh boy, that was a rough one. Okay, so it looks like we're seeing another Guzmahala here. They're going to thin out even more cards from their hand. Wonder Labyrinth. That would be a pain of a stadium to have in play. Now, luckily we have the Turffield replacement again. So having all of those extra stadiums is very good. Here's the Gormandize. So we're both going nice and slow here. We've got no rush at all. We will Bird Keeper into the Orbeetle. We've got quite a lot of good cards in hand now. Let's evolve into the Orbeetle VMAX on the bench. Then we can Eerie Beam from the active. We're going to remove the Pokédoll here. We will attach the Aurora Energy and discard the second Sableye. Then I think we just retreat into the second Orbeetle, and Eerie Beam will get a ton of extra damage down. We don't need to worry about the Wondrous Labyrinth at this point. We can just pass. We don't want to make it easier for our opponent to attack. But yeah, at this stage, we're pretty much just looking for boss. As soon as we find a boss, we're going to be good to go here. We're going to be able to get out of the active and then boss up that Colossal VMAX, which would be fantastic. Because here's the thing, with Colossal decks, they've only ever got one attacker as their focus. And if we do get a knockout on it, which we're going to be able to because it's got weakness, then we are in a really, really good spot. So, just a matter of making sure that we've got everything that we need here. We Eerie Beam again. That looks pretty good. We can use the Orbeetle on the bench. We can Bird Keeper. This looks pretty good too. There's the boss for next turn. The boss for next turn. Okay, I think what we can do, what we might, actually, is it? Let's tackle. We'll thin out first. Thin out the deck a little bit. Guzmahala and Mallow Lana. I'm thinking we replace the stadium here, because it might be worth actually setting up a third VMAX next turn. And we can attach the Aurora to... We probably should have attached it to the bench to VMAX. But regardless, we can attach the Aurora here and be in a really good spot. We'll put 5 damage counters on the active with G-Max Wave. And that means that Snorlax next turn can potentially get the knockout, be knocked out by us with Orbeetle VMAX. With 3 of the ticks, they're going to Mallow and Lana. Heal that 50 damage off the Colossal. I don't think that matters when you have that many. We're going to be doing 400 damage before the effect of Stone Energy. If he attaches another energy, I think we just flat out knock this thing out. At the moment, we'll be 40 short, but if he attaches another energy, then we will be able to just gust it and knock it out. Here's a switch. They're switching into Colossal and attaching. Okay. Well, that's an interesting call, because now we just attach and win, right? I'm very confused. We can Eerie Beam. We can take a whole bunch of damage counters here. We can attach to the Orbeetle on the bench. We can Mallow and Lana. We may as well. Get rid of the boss. We don't need that now. Well, actually, we might need it later. And there's that Freemake thing again. I'm going to get rid of that. I have no idea what that is. And then we can Eerie Beam one last time. And then finally use G-Max Wave and take the knockout on the Colossal. Now, I would be very surprised if my opponent continues to play here. Because that's the type of thing that will probably end the game. 2 cards in hand and 2 Snorlaxes on the bench. Yeah, there's the victory. I'm going to sort out this Freemake notification. That's a weird one. I don't know what that is. I can't seem to fix that problem. That's okay. Hopefully it goes away. We've won the coin toss here. We will go first. It's a bit of a risk. I like going second these days. But we'll try out going first. What's the worst that can happen? Get an energy attached and that kind of stuff. I like that. We are going to obviously have to mulligan here with no basic Pokemon. We do find an Orbeetle and a U-turn board and an Aurora energy though. So those are all very good cards to have going first. I would like to see a basic Pokemon though. Like that Sableye, for example. That could be good. Oh, Mad Party. Okay, this is going to be an interesting one. Let's grab Cynthia Caitlin and Guzmahala. Both of those cards seem pretty solid for us. We got the Turffield Stadium, so we might as well play that now just before something like a Chaotic Swell goes down. We can grab the Orbeetle, we can attach the U-turn board, and we can attach an Aurora energy. And I think the best card to get rid of here is actually Guzmahala. We will play down the Sableye just in case we get knocked out, and we will leave it there. Next turn, we have the opportunity to get ourselves going, and it is a good thing we use that Turffield Stadium, because Chaotic Swell comes straight down to ruin our day there. Galarian Mr. Rhyme over the Great Ball. We're going to look for another one here. This is Mad Party at its best. We'll be drawing through a ton of cards in the early game, and we will see how we go. Quick Ball here, getting rid of one of those Mr. Rhymes for a Dedenne. Let's have a think. How's the best way for us to get wins in? Obviously, we're going to be able to attack pretty easily. But we do need to... I think we need to hold on to the Mallow and Lana, honestly. We need to kind of build a potential knockout from there. And the spread damage is going to be very, very powerful as well. We could potentially take a bunch of knockouts just using Orbeetle's Eerie Beam ability. Looks like Harpu is the supporter of choice here. The good thing for us is that they don't seem to have found access to a retreat option just yet. Obviously, it's not necessarily the case because they could very easily just pull one out here. But I think if we just keep taking knockouts on things like Bunnelby and that, and there is a Bunnelby, then we should be okay to get a pretty convincing win here. We will obviously have to wait and see. Here comes a Pokemon Communication. Get rid of a Poltegeist. What are they going to grab? Another Bunnelby. Okay, so if they play that down, that'll be good for us. It'll be a nice, easy target. And a Crobat for a few prizes, a few cards here. Looks like we might be in a pretty solid spot. Now, they are going to be able to retreat into that Bunnelby and attack, but that's okay. They're not going to be dealing too much damage. I'm feeling pretty confident here, and top-decking that Orbeetle is really, really good. We might need to get rid of the Mallow and Lana now, though, which is a bit unfortunate, but That's okay. We can always get it back later with a Cynthia and Caitlin. But we will play that now. Cynthia and Caitlin for 3 cards, grabbing back the Guzma and Hala. That means next turn we can get ourselves a Aurora if we want. Actually, we can just discard it straight away. Grab ourselves another Orbeetle, I think seems like the best thing to do. And then we can just Dedenne. So we don't really need this boss. We can get rid of that. We can grab it back with another Cynthia and Caitlin. But yeah, we're in a pretty good spot here. We can get rid of this Chaotic Swell with Turffield, which means that later in the game we will be able to make a bit more use of that. We can use Eerie Beam, get some damage off, and then I think the best thing to do here is just to G-Max Wave. We'll take a knockout. Actually deals 150 damage to that Bunnelby, and we can take our first prize. We are going to need to deal quite a lot of damage to our opponent's board to get an effective board state here. They are promoting the Bunnelby, which is interesting. It means that they've probably got... Yep, there's the twin. So I'm just scratching my leg here. It's very warm at the moment, and it's making my legs uncomfortable, to say the very least. Professor's Research, and draw a bunch of new cards. I discarded a couple of energy already, which I like, frankly. Great Ball coming down. Going to grab an Oranguru. So I'll put that in play. They don't have any more attackers just yet, and most importantly, they don't have any of their Poltergeists ready. The Sinisty, obviously only having 30 HP, means that we could potentially knock one of them out with an Eerie Beam. They're not interested in grabbing them at all. They're just going to grab another Bunnelby, which is fair enough. There is a Sinisty that they are grabbing. Perhaps they have a Scoop Up Net or something similar. Doesn't look like it. No, they're just going to attack for 140. And this could be a pretty good turn, especially with another Orbeetle VMAX here. We can Eerie Beam, put down a bunch of damage. Then what we could do is we could retreat into another... Actually, no, we shouldn't retreat. What we should do is we should switch into the Orbeetle here, because we can Eerie Beam. Then we could grab Crobat. Actually, we could just take a knockout with the Zigzagoon in the active if we want to. Let's have a think here. What is the best thing for us to do? Just grab Crobat. Let's just... Let's have a think. Do we just take the knockout on the active? I can just knock out the Bunnelby. But if I Crobat into it, then I get another Orbeetle VMAX. And I want that. So let's go for it. Okay, I shouldn't have gone for it. It was a mistake. Now I can't get that easy knockout on the Bunnelby in the active. Dang. We'll attach to the active. We might just pass, actually, and leave it there. It's a bit of a disappointing turn, but next turn we will be able to Eerie Beam, and we haven't done too much stuff yet, so we should be okay. And they might actually give us a bit of bench space here to use Zigzagoon. We may have done... Well, we didn't do a smart thing, but we may have done something. They're going to take 3 prizes here. We get our U-turn board back. What we can actually do is we can Zigzagoon the benched Bunnelby, and then take the knockout with Eerie Beam, which I don't mind at all. So let's Eerie Beam. We'll get a prize on the Bunnelby. See what we can get. Dark Energy. Not useful to us right now. I will play down the Zigzagoon, and we will ping the Bunnelby on the bench. I will take another prize here. Professor's Research. Okay, well played. Fair enough. Let's play the Turbo Patch. We'll see if we can't get ourselves ahead. We can't. Oh, they've just conceded. There you go. They must have had any more Bunnelbys left. Into game 3 now. We've had a couple of decent opportunities to show off how the deck works. Like I said in the intro, though, might not necessarily be the best way to play, but we've got a pretty solid game plan here. Like, it's okay. We're going second here, and we've got ourselves a good start, I would say. We've got a Quick Ball, we've got a couple of energy, and we are going up against a Charizard deck by the looks of it, so this could be very interesting. We might need to make use of that Weakness card. A couple of Dark Energy off of the Mulligan as well, so we get an extra Dark Energy. Suggests to me that we might need to attack with Sableye at some point during this game. They're going to retreat into Jirachi here, and then Stellar Wish. They're going to try and get themselves a Quick Ball, you'd think, so that they can set up a Charmander on the bench. Let's Seems like the smartest thing to do. Great Ball might be the next best thing. They'll play that, try and find that Charmander. Can they find the Charmander? They do! They find it, so there is the Charmander in play. They will now be able to potentially evolve into a Charizard next turn. We will need to make use of the Weak Guard energy, though, and oh my goodness. 3 Professor's Research that will be going into the discard pile this early is not good. We really do need to make use of this Weak Guard energy as well, but I might just need to discard it here, because I need to be able to get going with something. Let's see what we can do. We might be able to Turbo Patch an energy onto an Orbeetle potentially. Let's tag call. We'll grab ourselves Cynthia Caitlin and Guz Mahala. Mallow Lana probably not useful in this one. Turbo Patch gets ahead, so let's attach that one to the Orbeetle on the bench. And then we can load search, and I think we're going to grab ourselves a... Oh, this is an interesting one. Probably a... let's grab a Quick Ball. Get ourselves another Orbeetle on the bench. That would be great. Now, our opponent's in a position where they could very easily get the momentum in this game. They just need to get a Charizard into play. And it looks like this is a clay version of this deck to help discard things like Leon more easily. Makes a lot of sense. Here comes a rare candy into Charizard. So this could be awkward. They're going to be doing 130. They just need one Leon in the discard pile to take a knockout on our Sableye, which I do not like. So I'm not sure here what the play is going to be for us. They're going to scoop up net. And here comes Battle Sense. On the plus side, they still need energy twice, so they need a Welder this turn. That is good. They're taking a bit of time to have a think about this Battle Sense here. So they need to Welder, and then Royal Blaze will deal 100 plus 50 for every Leon in the discard pile. And at the moment, there are no Leons. And again, no Leons. So that's good news for us. We might be able to get ourselves an extra turn here. It looks like we will. Now we've got ourselves 2 Orbeetles. What we might need to do here... We're going to need to Quick Ball. I might get rid of this tag call. Grab ourselves another Orbeetle. What's the best thing to do here? Is it Bird Keeper? Do we Bird Keeper into Orbeetle? Do we Cynthia and Caitlin? That might be better because we can grab back a supporter. We can discard the Sableye and grab something like Professor's Research back. Gives us some more options for next turn. And we've found a bunch of Aurora energy. That's 3. 3 Aurora energy off of that Cynthia Caitlin. What I'm going to do is I'm going to discard this Eldegoss. We don't need that. And the load search again. Let's grab... I feel like the Turbo Patch is not a bad card at all. Let's grab that because we are likely to see this Sableye knocked out this turn. We have 2 Orbeetles and a Bird Keeper to potentially play. And that will be enough to get a knockout on the Charizard. We need to deal... what, 20 damage, so that when we can attack, we attack for 150. So we do 50 plus 50 for every energy attached to our opponent's Pokemon. Opponent's active Pokemon, I should say. So if they attack into the Sableye and knock it out, then we attach Aurora, Bird Keeper into a benched one, and then we're set and ready to go. We'll get a bunch of damage off. That would be great. If they don't do that, then we are probably going to win the game regardless. So I like the sound of that also. I think I saw a couple of Leon in there on the way through. I'm not going to bother checking. We'll just see what happens. There's no point checking. No point. It just makes me feel sad, knowing that I'm about to lose. But yeah, we're in a weird spot because like I like our position, but I also really don't like our position. So, you know, anything could happen at this point. Here comes that Battle Sense Charizard. They'll probably rare candy into that. Looks like they're actually going for another Jirachi play here. So we'll put the second Jirachi into the active. Maybe we're looking at the scoop up net going into another rare candy, maybe. Although if they are looking for another rare candy, then this might be a weird sequencing issue. You're going to put some energy and some Pokemon back into the deck, which means they're now less likely to find a rare candy off of this Jirachi. And they are going for it, so there's a little bit of an error from our opponent. Will they be punished for it? Will the Stellar Wish hit the rare candy? It makes me think that they haven't hit it. There is a Leon, though. That's a very frightening card. And another Jirachi. Are we going again? Are we scoop up netting the active and going again? Here we go. Stellar Wish. Rare Candy. Looking for that 1 in 4 chance of getting Rare Candy. Don't find it, but the Welder is in play now, so might be able to get an attack off at least. Pokemon. What are we doing here? There's a lot of things that are happening in this game that I'm not 100% sure about. It's a Charmeleon, so then we're going to manually evolve that Charmander here to give themselves access to a Charizard again next turn, and they miss again. They miss again. And this is massive news for us. We can Bird Keeper into Orbeetle. We can grab ourselves an Eerie Beam here. Deal a bit of damage. We can go into a second Orbeetle if we want now as well. We can just go into the Sableye and attack with that. That seems fine. Because I don't mind the Sableye getting knocked out. That's not too much of an issue. We can Crazy Claws here and knock out this Jirachi. This is probably the best position for us to be in. If they knock out the Sableye as well, we have 3 Turbo Patches to try and get a Darkness Energy into play. Unfortunately, we can't use it on the Orbeetle VMAX, so we'll need to find another basic. But still a lot of Turbo Patches for us to utilize. And now our opponent looking for an extra Leon in the discard and another Fire Energy. See if they can get it. No Leon in the discard just yet. Another Charizard, though, means another Battle Sense is available to them. They're going to play that now. Grabbing a card, discarding 2. They've got 2 Leon in the bin, so they will be able to get a knockout if they attach here, which it looks like they're going to do. They're going to weld it to the bench and then attach to the active, so they will get a knockout on the Sableye. But the question is, are we going to be able to maintain pressure when there are 2 Charizards in play? This is going to be tough. We may need to go looking for a weakness energy here if we can, or potentially hope that they can't get welded double energy onto another Charizard. So this is alright. They're going to go for the knockout here. They get that quite easily. They'll draw 2 prizes. We've got 2 3-prize Pokemon in play, so they can't win the game off of one of these, but we can put ourselves in a strong position. So let's attach to the active, discard a Turbo Patch. Then I'm going to research. We've got enough damage on the field to be able to do this. We've got Quick Balls. I don't think we really need any of those. Let's Eerie Beam. Let's have a think. What's the best thing for us to do? We will Quick Ball. Get rid of the Mallow Lana because we're not going to need that here. And I'll grab another Orbeetle, because that way we can still get plenty of ticks down. Then we G-Max Wave, we'll take the knockout here, we deal 150 damage. They will be able to knock out the Orbeetle in our active position, but we have 2 Orbeetle VMAX to use. One of them has an energy attached to it. This evolution here is really bad though. If they attach to this Charizard, we may struggle to get a knockout here. Oh boy, this is bad news bears, ladies and gentlemen. Bad news bears. Let's see, is there a way that we go on to win this game? Probably not. I mean, they could deck themselves, to be fair. If they keep using Battle Sense, they could just deck themselves. 500 damage to the Orbeetle VMAX. They take 3 prizes. We're looking for Reset Stamp and hope they miss energy. That is pretty much our only play at this stage. Reset Stamp, hope they miss energy. No stamp just yet. Let's Quick Ball, get rid of the Sableye, grab ourselves a Crobat. We have a Weakness Guard energy in the deck, so we can still get that. Let's attach. We will evolve. Let's see here. We will Eerie Beam. I think we might be best switching into this Orbeetle, because then we get an extra card off this Crobat. We're looking for Weakness Guard or a Reset Stamp. I can't even remember if I play Reset Stamp. Weakness Guard, though, is a good card to get. We can Eerie Beam, and then just G-Max Wave, take the knockout, and hope that they don't have Gust. They have Energy Boss, we lose. Saying well played, that suggests to me that they do have the game-winning Gust here, but, you know, hey, it's fine. Royal Blaze. Okay, that is not game, good sir. I hope you didn't have Gust in hand, because the Weakness Guard energy means that we do not need to worry. We will retreat into Orbeetle. We have ourselves a boss's orders in hand for next turn if we need it. But I think we're about to just win the game off of that mistake. And yeah, that is disappointing to say the very least. So there you have it. Not sure whether they were good gaming me because they knew they couldn't win, or good gaming me because they thought they'd won but didn't. I don't know. Hopefully it was the previous one. Because it feels pretty bad to lose that way sometimes, but you know, that's okay. This Orbeetle list, I think I have come to the decision that this is not the best list floating around, but it is definitely interesting, and that's all that I ask, is that we play interesting decks that can win games, and this one definitely can. I will take a look at the other Orbeetle lists floating around at some point in the future, but there's plenty of other decks to take a look at first. If you have any suggestions, leave them down below in the comments, and whilst you're there, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. We've had a massive influx of new subscribers recently, and if you are one, then please leave a like. If you are a subscriber and you're watching this video, like the video so that I know the percentage of people that are watching this that are subscribed. That would be great to know. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming along, and I will see you next time for more from the Sableye. Bye.